Hello everyone, and welcome to our first campaign of Total War Warhammer 2, likely not to be the last. Continuing in the tradition of our Beastmen campaign for Warhammer 1, I am TJ Hafer, and with me is the official legal counsel for the Skaven Under-Empire, DM Schmeyer.
Happy to be here.
Who is an actual lawyer and will be providing whatever legal advice he can to demonic
I'm sure they care.
Mad scientist rat men as we go along here.
I'm sure they care. I'm sure they care.
So the Skaven, well, I'm sure we'll have their mechanics explained to us as we go along. We're going to play on normal just because it's more fun.
Under the world, they chitter and plan. Watching. Waiting.
You voted on this faction, by the way.
When they emerge, it is a nightmare vision. The Skaven, a ravenous horde of verminous ratmen.
Again, I think we might have some job safety issues with the armor. I'm seeing a lot of spikes.
Yeah. I'm seeing also a lot of interesting property law conflicts that could come up with these guys. What is their territory? How do they claim it? There's like an adverse possession thing going on right here.
How far underground do property rights extend?
Far. Depending on whose legal code you're under.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's going on here? There's a hole in the world?
So the Vortex, it was made by the elves a long time ago to make it so chaos couldn't take over the world. If the Vortex ever gets messed up, then chaos wins, essentially. So we're gonna be probably on the side of bringing it down, would be my guess.
Yes, indeed.
In the secret halls of the Under-Empire.
Okay.
The Council of 13.
Council of 13.
Sounds like a board. Sounds like a pain in the ass to manage.
Scheme of opportunity.
So I'm not sure if the Council of 13 is more of like an LLC or...
Sounds like an unofficial, proxy government.
Okay.
Possibly unelected. So maybe they govern more like a corporation, and this is just like a board appointed by the business owners.
Could be.
The Chaos God, the business owners. I hereby dub this corporation, this collective ratmen.
Yeah.
I want you to just go around and kill and shit everywhere that you possibly can. I mean, I don't know.
Council wants power.
Council wants power, okay.
Just as prophecy demands.
Prophecy. So where does prophecy come into interaction with
Usually
the legal
insanity defenses.
Okay. I think that the Skaven, whatever happens, if we do need something to fall back on with the Skaven, I think the insanity defense is going to be very strong.
Yes, indeed. Also, possibly, we're frickin' rats. That might actually be part of it. I'm not altogether clear why they require legal assistance. But
I think it's very much like the Beastmen. It was unsolicited.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. You know,
they tolerate my presence because I have a lot of big books, and they equate that with wisdom. It seems like.
Your rat law is it's a tricky thing.
It is indeed. Yeah. Indeed.
All right. Queek Head Taker. I don't think he's going to have a lot of character witnesses.
No.
The Scion of Clan Morris emerges from under the City of Pillars. Dispatched by Grayseer Volskreek at the behest of the Council of 13, Warlord Queek and his forces are sent to a nest lair under the ruined city of Uatek. So would you say that that's... if it's a ruined city from centuries ago, is that abandoned to the point that they could claim squatters' rights? Or,
a ruined city is probably abandoned property. It's any property that is abandoned, as in completely repudiated. Usually this is in not in terms of real property, like land, but in terms of material property, goods. If you abandon it completely and someone takes it, it belongs to them. It transfers, assigns immediately. So, for example, if I put a chair out by the curb and someone picks it up and takes it, they could legally assume that I had abandoned it and take it home, right?
Gotcha.
Now, what if they take a chair from the curb and I have a moving truck right by it? Now you have indicia that I wasn't abandoning it, that I was moving, right? So a little bit different. Of course, all cases turn on the facts like that.
So if the Lizardmen came back to Uatek and said that the inscriptions here clearly state that 1,000 years from now...
To be fair, I would think that the Lizardmen and the Skaven would be utterly uninterested in litigation and would instead choose, as to the law of Marshall v. Art, throw the hell down.
Okay, all right. Let's see, we have to repel a nascent invasion of hated elf things.
Queek Headtaker, in 20 Skaven Code, paragraph 18, bring that shit on, Mother Beeper. Would I imagine a similar response would be said to said returning. Now, another thing they could do is I'm also told that these guys, they take possession of stuff kind of without people knowing. They kind of root in.
Yeah, so they're a stealth faction.
Right, that's adverse possession, right?
This is legit. Like, he's got legal briefs pulled up right now.
So adverse possession is a legal doctrine that says a trespasser can come onto land, occupy it, and eventually gain legal ownership of it over time. I'm thinking that's more what these guys do. It's difficult to abandon real property in terms of like abandonment law. I don't actually know a lot about that, quote unquote. Oh, and by the way, disclaimer, none of this is legal advice to use in your own home.
No.
We're being funny. Half of what I'm saying is bullshit designed to draw laughs.
Entertainment value.
Yeah, this
video is only for entertainment.
Yeah, none of this is legit. Very little of it is.
Yeah.
Oh, squirt musk of fear, vermin.
Okay. The head taker comes before us.
From council itself, that how important I am.
Gotcha. We got some repeated verbiage, but that's probably all right.
From elf things, clan Moors sent to kill elf things and find warps.
Okay. So would Warpstone is essential. Do they have a case there in terms of these elf things needed to die in order?
Well, I mean, did you take my property by force? In which case, am I delivering force to regain my property?
Well,
do you then escalate the force to lethal force, and then I respond with lethal
here's
force?
the thing. I can tell you I've played the elves, and they have no actual need for Warpstone. So if they're withholding Warpstone, which is essential to the Skaven...
that sounds like a court better put before the Warhammer International Court of Human Justice.
The court of whoop-ass?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, so they're not ordinarily visible to other races, instead appearing as ruins. Skavens require a stockpile of food, so we got that. We're at normal food levels right now.
See, the one area where I feel like these guys might fail in their adverse possession of these ruins is it's not open and notorious possession.
Yeah.
They're kind of hiding. They're kind of skittering. It has to be hostile, actual, open and notorious, and exclusive and continuous for a period of time.
Gotcha.
I feel that they struggle on some of those elements, which is interesting. These guys might be governed by pure might makes right.
Now, here's the other interesting thing. So Skaven corruption doesn't work exactly like Chaos and Vampire corruption. It actually becomes bad for us after a certain amount of time.
Oh, how so?
So what the Skaven are actually incentivized to do is to capture a ruin, build it up, build a bunch of units, ruin it, abandon it, and move on. It's kind of a
truly like pests.
Interesting ecological commentary here. So yeah, we basically you when the rat shit gets yay high, you move on. That's kind of how they work.
Yeah, okay, so I just looked at it. Real property may not be abandoned. Okay. So we would go to adverse possession.
Gotcha, okay. So the elf things shall pay. I don't know exactly what they're... I'm assuming it's not financial restitution that they're going to pay. All things are Queeks. So it seems like within Queek's own value system, he is entitled to whatever property he can get his paws on.
Might makes right.
Yeah, because all things are Queeks. So we have to occupy the Fortress of the Dawn, which is somewhere around here. Let's see. Occupy settlement. Oh, belonging to Fortress of Dawn. So the faction is called Fortress of Dawn.
So we gotta go take them.
Yeah, let's, I think we can take these dudes.
Under the law of might makes right, we're about to unleash a can of unlawful assault upon these... Unlawful battery and possibly first-degree homicide.
We could totally auto-resolve this, but since it's the first battle of the campaign, I think for ceremonial reasons we gotta fight it out.
We do. This should be easy.
Yeah, very easy. They've got... So, High Elf units, one thing to know about them is numbers can be deceptive, because even their very basic units are very...
strong, I can tell.
Very expensive and very proficient. That's their whole thing. Like, even their basic spearmen cost like 600 gold or something. Because they're the equivalent of a tier 2
I would imagine our sniveling demonic rat hordes are of a lower quality.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of cannon fodder. Skaven armies are about huge amounts of cannon fodder with a few key specialists. Oh, we actually got an ambush, too, so this is going to be...
This is their mechanic, as I remember.
Yeah, I think they can ambush on offense in certain situations. I don't remember exactly what those situations are.
Yes, indeed.
But they're great. They're great at ambushes, and they can actually summon troops onto the battlefield from underground, which I'm sure we'll be able to demonstrate here. So I'm thinking because tactics are good, we should probably figure out where their march column is, go after their archers immediately, and then
absolutely
clean up the spearmen.
Elves and ranged go together like fish and water.
They are
like us and not summer.
So
like
like
Casey and garbage.
I really like wood elves in Warhammer 1. The big difference with high elves is they're not as skirmishy, but if you let their archers stand there and plink away at you, they will wreck your shit.
High elves, if I recall reading like the mechanics, so they have melee ability. Like they have the ability to have sturdy formations.
Yeah, I think
the wood elves really did not, if I recall.
Yeah, their archers. I don't know if these guys are armored, but they can actually get armored archers that can hold up fairly well in melee. I think those are just the basic archers.
All right, man, we gotta nail these guys.
But yeah, so
there's about to be a lot of battery, a lot of first-degree murder.
Yeah.
Possibly even some second-degree murder, depending
You know,
on...
I feel like the Skaven, with their animalistic instincts, you could argue second-degree murder in most cases.
Yeah, probably.
That would be
if they lack capacity. Although if they lack capacity, they'd actually have a great defense under our law, at least.
Yeah.
Cold comfort to their victims.
Okay, so... Might as well hit them from both sides. Come out of the jungle here. We got some clan rats, which are our basic... they're not actually shit tier because the Skaven slaves are the shit tier infantry. These guys are
there's about to be
a little bit of a
all
step
sorts
up.
of harmful and offensive contact up in here.
Now,
wow,
another
that's creepy.
Another element of the lore that
I'm sure having a firm amongst these guys would be a lot of fun.
I'm interested in the legal ramifications of this. So the Skaven do not officially exist. The Imperial cult actually goes a long way to hide their existence from the general public, and I'm curious what that would actually...
I wonder what their legal injustice would entail, because, I mean, that would go almost into a political philosophy question. I mean, in the end, I think I come down on the side of they are, therefore they are. Like, I live, therefore I am. I exist, therefore I am. I think you'd have a hard time claiming... Now, giving them legal status, rights under the law, citizenship... That's different, but I don't know that there's a real legal instrument that exists to deny someone's existence unless you get into a lot of social justice, civil rights, and those sorts of themes. Things I think that the Skaven are relatively unworried about based on what I've seen them recently.
I don't feel like they are. So these beefier units here, these are Storm Vermin. These are actually Tier 3 infantry. So
cool. So because every starting army in every Warhammer,
right? We start with some good troops.
It seems like in Total Warhammer, the starting army with your faction leader has at least some studs.
And so here's our unique mechanic, the Menace Below. So we can basically every 30 seconds we can summon. We have 4 charges total. We can summon Skaven units from underground to basically wherever we want them, which seems really overpowered, but it's actually very balanced by the fact that Skaven units are shitty.
See, what's interesting is I don't know who started this under the law. You see, whoever didn't start it could obviously argue self-defense. It's like they're coming at me with weapons. But who started it? They probably all have a reasonable fear of death or dismemberment.
Yeah.
And that reasonable fear is all you need to act in your own defense. So, very interesting, that.
Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed.
That's what makes this series so interesting.
Yeah.
It's like there's actually a lot to discuss here if you want there to be.
So here we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got some clan rats
and
popping
right
up from
in the back.
Yep. And their archers are completely
swamped.
surrounded.
They're swamped.
Oh, and so warp fire throwers are going to do a lot of damage to our own units, but that's the other thing is Skaven have a lot of collateral damage weapons, and it doesn't really matter.
They're so cheap.
Because life is extremely cheap when you're a Skaven. We got some rat ogres here, which are literally smaller Skaven, several of them that have been sewn together into something larger.
I think the battle is about over.
Yeah,
like just like that. I think it's done.
Yeah, there was not a lot of opportunity for them to pull.
You had them surrounded, and then you hit them with Menace from below, right in the rear of their best unit.
Yeah,
that's a great ability. That'll bail us out a lot,
especially against archers. Because even if all of those clan rats die, we stopped their archers from firing for a good 15 to 30 seconds.
Really, they didn't get a volley off.
But I mean, give it to these high elf spearmen. These are basic spear infantry, and they are holding us
surrounded on all sides.
Surrounded on all sides. High elves, martial excellence is their thing.
The thing is we will utterly obliterate this unit if they rout.
But they have no stomach for blood. So high elf units, when they start to lose their morale, their fighting ability goes down severely. So if a high elf army is doing really well, it's doing very, very well.
They're almost invincible.
Yeah, if a high elf army starts to falter, they get screwed, which dark elves are actually the opposite. The more gore on the battlefield, the happier the dark elves get. So we'll have to keep that in mind, depending on what faction we're playing, or we're playing against. Their princess is actually doing pretty well.
We could menace from down below somewhere.
We could. Let's just menace from below, right in the middle of their spear.
Yeah, right in this area. So there's a little harmful and offensive contact going over here, going on over there.
Oh, there we go. That's how
some unlawful extermination of life going on just all over the place.
Oh man, I love just watching them emerge from the tunnels.
Oh, this game is well animated.
Oh,
Was there a better marriage, really, than Warhammer and Total War to come out in gaming?
Decisive victory. One thing you'll probably notice is even when we get decisive victories, we're going to take a lot of losses. We actually didn't.
Holy crap, yeah, we took none.
I was going to say, even from our own warp fire throwers, I was expecting the casualties to be higher than that.
Well, it's just that's why that was a decisive victory.
Yeah, look,
I think we just overran them.
Their princess got 56 kills, and the rest of their units got single digits or nothing.
We just had them swamped from so early.
So let's add this up here, though. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, I think our warp fire throwers actually got more kills against our own units than they did overall, but it was...
The princess got more kills.
The princess got most of their 95 kills. Significantly.
Good for her. Lots of respect.
Yeah, you know, she can say... They'll sing songs about her back in Ulthuan, about how she killed 56 Skaven before being dragged to the ground and torn bodily limb from limb.
Yeah. That's kind of how the Skaven do, is my impression. They keep it real.
They do.
Yeah, the Under-Empire or whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny when we do shows like the Casey just looks at us like, what is going
on? I don't understand this box or why you talk at it all the time. You guys think I'm weird for licking my own anus, but you're really the weird ones. You're truly
you are slaves to the box.
Yes.
Oh, Casey.
But yeah, this ratio is going to be pretty common. 1,000 troops versus 421.
Because our troops are not very good.
A full stack army of Skaven is like 6,000 or 7,000 men versus 4 to 5 is pretty average for the other factions. So
cool.
We're almost always going, especially when you factor in Menace below, we are almost always going to have a numbers advantage, which we will have to use carefully when we get into some tougher fights because our troops, 1-for-1, do not pair well against any of the other factions.
And that'll probably even remain true when you add the factions from Warhammer 1.
Yeah, I think the goblins in the orc roster are one of the only other units that would be equivalent to Skaven in a one-on-one fight. Like, even Empire Swordsmen would probably wipe the floor with a unit of clan rats, but we have more of them, which...
And we can summon them on a moment's notice in tactically advantageous positions.
T-34 was a better tank than the Tiger II because they could make a whole lot of them.
And they didn't break down. That was actually important.
That too.
To use Ahoy 4 terms, their reliability, the T-34's reliability was off the frickin' charts.
Yep.
All right.
Getting longer load times than usual, possibly because we're also recording to...
Possibly. We're sorry.
A separate hard drive, but... We'll keep the banter rolling. That's
so Ratmen, am I right?
How crazy! Hopefully that the game did not lock up.
I think that's exactly what happened.
That might actually be what happened. I'm gonna stop the recording momentarily and sort this out.
All right.
Okay, so the game locked up and we went ahead and auto resolve. So here's, I want to know which of these would be more legally defensible. Sell off our captives. Casualty replenishment goes down, so basically it's a ransom. Enslave, which gives us food.
Depends on whose legal code and which era you're operating under.
Or we can just eat them.
Definitely sell off. Ransoming has like a long history in warfare.
Yeah.
Enslaving, I mean, that's against the Constitution and every other constitution in the free world. And eating is just bad all around in our culture. But this is Warhammer.
This is Warhammer. So I think
yeah.
I think we should probably just enslave him. There we go. Pet wolf rat, vicious and foul-tempered, the result of a hideous experiment whereby Skaven were crossed with Kislevite wolves.
That seems like a great idea.
I did not need to know that was a thing. Best very nasty, best avoid stroking it. So that'll help us assassinate people.
Vanya killed.
Vanya, it heroically died. We gained the Talisman of Endurance.
Plus 15% ward save.
We gained a level. So
extremely distrustful.
Loyalty -1 for new recruits faction-wide. But he gets leadership +8 and hero self-defense. Being untrustworthy and treacherous tends to make one suspicious of others.
That's funny.
Fair enough. I almost always start off with inspiring presence because it'll keep our troops from routing.
They don't tell you why the presence is inspiring.
No.
He's terrifying.
Yeah. So we'll stay in our own territory
to gain that
one
bit of
turn
replenishment.
to get some replenishment. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we can build up some infrastructure.
Lair. Lair.
Province capital. We'll get ourselves a lair, and I think that's all we can do for this turn because I think we've moved too far to do any. Oh, we can actually do some recruitment. Skaven slaves. They're not hardly even worth it. They have, I think, the worst stats of any infantry in the game, so we should probably stick with clan rats at a bare minimum.
Yup, I'm with you there. I do miss research trees.
We do get a research tree. We just have to build a certain building to be able to unlock it, I think.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Skaven don't start with the ability to do science. They need to build up to that.
That's fair. All right. I would just resolve
that's
it.
Auto resolve. If it's more than 75% in our favor, it's usually auto resolve material.
Okay.
So here's the interesting thing about Skaven. We can sacrifice food to start with a higher developed settlement.
Wow.
So I think that might actually be worth it to go ahead and start with a level 2 settlement. That won't put us to starvation quite yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because sacking it won't actually give it to us. So yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Start this. So this is kind of a cool thing about this faction.
We've got a high ward save.
If we build up a huge stockpile of food, we can abandon whatever shit we want and then just go start a new capital somewhere.
Yes.
That's basically how their faction works. They're not quite a horde, nomad horde, like Chaos is, but they've got some interesting ways to move around the map. So yeah, we captured a settlement. We got some warp stone. So, elf captives say they want control of the Southlands. I'm sure that information was not extracted under duress whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so he seems to have an understanding of the idea of finders keepers.
Wait, I'll take it.
Yeah. So let's see. We already have a recruitment building. So here's the interesting thing about Skaven. Most of their economy buildings give us more corruption, which again eventually comes back to bite us.
Yep.
There's actually a building chain that's basically a garbage dump that helps us keep our provinces clean. And I'm curious to see if we can kind of create a long-term
why not try
empire building strategy using these. I've not played enough turns of Skaven to see if that actually works.
Okay.
So what we could do here, these are all situational to certain types of units. I'm actually not a huge fan of the leadership skill tree in Warhammer 2 compared to the one in Warhammer 1.
I think tail weapon might make sense.
Yeah, so I think Queek is geared to be a one-on-one fighter, so we should probably put some points into his personal combat skill. I am with you on that one.
All right.
And looks like we can recruit some Skaven slave spears.
Really
yeah, we've already got storm vermin. They can stop any
fine.
cavalry we come up against. Yeah, so we'll get some more clan rats because that's what Skaven do.
Replenish our casualties further.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the next item of business is to go colonize the Scrag Hole, which sounds like a delightful place.
Yeah, Scrag Hole. That sounds great. Let's do that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
We seem to not take a lot of attrition.
No, Skaven actually don't take attrition in untainted provinces, which is cool.
Awesome. We'll take it.
We have constructed a lair, so we've got 500 free money.
Warpstone found in old places. Elf things not no.
Okay.
Can reach it.
Okay. We're gonna do our first treasure hunt. So this is another new thing in Warhammer 2 is when you interact with the ruin, you can actually do like a kind of choose your own adventure thing.
Aha!
So we're going to explore the ruin.
Cool.
Disturbing the dead. While scouting the outskirts of a recently ruined settlement, you notice on the edge of town a small secluded graveyard. The graves look remarkably fresh considering that the whole place was abandoned rather in a hurry. So we can leave them alone, we can dig them up, we can search the area for tracks, or we can use magic to search the graves. I feel like if we're RPing, the Skaven would probably just dig them up. Yeah. One of the corpses is bedecked in finery and still clutches his weapons. A powerful magical aura emanates from his grave. So being completely disrespectful to the dead
has paid off.
Actually got us a really good item.
Dawnstone.
Let's take a look at our inventory here. So we've got talisman.
Ward save plus 20 is better.
Yes, that is actually better.
Yep.
Because ward saves protect against everything. Oh yeah, traits can actually level up now. Some of them can. This one's only one level. But we will get certain traits, like you can get a trait like aggressive.
Yeah.
And if you keep using that leader in an aggressive way, that trait will actually level up. Which is pretty cool.
That's boss.
They've added a lot of new cool campaign stuff to this.
I love the demi-RPG elements that they put into Total Warhammer. It's really awesome.
Okay, so this is another Skaven clan, it looks like. Clan Molder. Okay, so we can stock.
And you may bring them to battle unprepared.
So, oh, stock is our basic or our basic stance.
That's awesome.
Chance of ambushing any enemy force this force attacks. So
that's pretty cool.
It doesn't tell me what that chance is, but that's pretty cool that our basic walking stance.
We got it.
Yeah. Probably don't want to sacrifice any more food because we're at exactly 50. So there we go. 7 more warp stone.
And we are making just more money.
Gotcha. Yep. We've secured the province. That's great. Let's take a look at what edicts are available to the Skaven. So, corruption, food generated, minus 30 tax rate. That's not fantastic. Recruitment cost is pretty good. Construction cost of buildings and growth plus 20 is pretty damn good. Public order might be an issue that we need to deal with at the moment. Yeah. Efficient planning.
Okay.
That sounds.
We'll be efficient with our planning.
Yeah. Efficience. We can build slave wheels. I really want to try this garbage pit strategy. I want to see if going full garbage pit can actually pay off for you. Because the Skaven corruption, I don't think it actually does anything for our public order. I think it's just a way to make you keep moving your settlements.
Yeah, it's which they do because they're nomadic.
Yeah.
Not fully nomadic, but they don't preserve their lands like other races do.
Damn it, Molder's gonna capture... issue commandment. Okay, we did it. Fantastic. Population grows. Sounds great. Alright, so we need to construct a nest lair.
Your efforts would be strengthened by the raising of a new army. Appoint another command and...
Okay, they want us to recruit another lord. Alright, we need more warpstone. Cool. United against us. Clan Molder have been invited by our enemies, Fortress of Dawn. Are you serious?
The traitor's dogs will pay.
The other Skaven clan
took a contract.
Allied with the elves against us?
We'll take it.
Did that actually just happen?
Come on.
Alright. Well...
We need more.
We need more clan rats. And then we're going to need to... yeah, I know. I actually do know how unit recruitment works. We need to recruit a new lord. Sneaky. Ambush chance plus 25. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so loyalty is a measure of the willingness of Lord of the Dark Elves or Skaven to follow the leader of his or her faction.
Should it reach 0, they rebel. That's interesting.
Okay.
And very true to the lore of those races.
Yeah, so starting loyalty available can take a long range of values. Scale from 0 to 10. It can be increased by recruiting units to their army, by gifting them items, by completing missions through diplomatic actions with amicable factions, and by ensuring the faction leader is of a higher level than them. Okay. So we're going to have to make sure Queek stays a higher level. Perceptive is not as good. Strategist is kind of cool. Yeah, I really like the sneaky. Sneaky trait. Alright.
Alright.
We can recruit some units from the global pool.
And we want to.
For this dude. And I believe Queek gained another level just from sitting around.
Ooh.
So let's see. Weapon strength when fighting against lizard men and dwarves. Interesting. And then
eventually that increases.
Yeah, goes to include most
men and
most
elves.
people.
Thick skin is amazing.
Good. Melee attack is really good. Leadership.
Wow, okay. I think we'll be going down this for a little while.
Yeah, let's I don't know. What do you think we should go offensive or defensive first?
I think having him be survivable to stay on the field killing people is your first priority.
I think
that's always the route I go down. Admittedly, I've only really dove into Empire on my own.
Yeah.
But usually my strategy is, all right, if Karl Franz can't die, he can just kind of stay on the battlefield kicking butt. You know what I mean? He can just hang around.
This is true.
Womp on things. All right, here they come.
Are they gonna?
They're gonna go for it.
Interesting. Okay.
And we're gonna ambush them.
Yeah. So
we're gonna ambush them. I hope.
Your kind are known for its backstabbing ways, mighty Lord.
So we still haven't fully recovered our numbers. That's fine. I don't care. We still haven't fully recovered our numbers from colonizing the Scrag Hole. So
yeah, but we can ambush them.
We can. I think
these guys aren't ready.
What we might want to do is try to hit them with 2 armies at once.
Okay.
Why is he showing questionable vote? 4 out of 10. That's not that bad.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
not
acceptable.
That's not the danger zone. That's bad, but that's not the danger
zone.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it right.
And we know we're bad enough singers that this is not going to get automatically hit with a DMCA strike.
Yeah, we're awful. I mean, we're really bad.
Yeah, there's no way their software could possibly identify that as danger zone.
We're really bad.
Okay, so the lizard men to our north of Slotten want to, they want us to pay them 140 gold, which is basically nothing for a non-aggression pact.
Sure.
Why
if it
not?
keeps them off our
back,
sure.
we could use not having an extra enemy right now, because here comes a fleet
of them
of the elves to mess with our shit, and we're not having that really.
Okay.
Mission successful. That's cool. We like it.
Trade gained.
Is now strict, so he's going to increase public order.
That's awesome for any province he's in.
This will level up the more turns he spends in a province with low public order.
So eventually, if he gets that to level 3, any province he's in, he'll essentially keep in line just with his presence.
More or less.
Awesome.
Let's see. This gives us corruption and income and public order. This gives us growth, casualty replenishment, which is really good.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. This is what we want.
Hunting camp.
Hunting camp. Anytime, here's a tip for you guys. Anytime you capture a settlement where you see a unique resource production building, you always want to build that.
It's usually very good and usually doesn't have any negatives for taking it.
Yes. So,
Let the bell scream, scream.
I believe we can hit these guys from 2 sides. It actually does look like that is a distinct possibility here. And it's an ambush. Look at this.
Oh,
look at that.
We got
Look at that ratio.
We got him.
We can auto-resolve that easily. I think we should probably eat them.
Yeah, they're Skaven.
We need some replenishment here.
They're Skaven.
And he's going to run off like a little punk. We got an obsidian trinket, which is nice. We got another level for Queek.
Yep, I'd go just alternate between them until they're maxed.
Yep. And,
yep.
I don't know if we can hit him. Oh,
yeah,
we actually
he's hurt.
can.
He's so hurt.
Yeah. We lost 2 units of clan rats, but who gives a shit? Certainly not us.
And they're done.
And now we need to get Queek back to the Scrag Hole in time to defend this naval invasion.
Oh, awesome. See. And he can cast.
Oh, cool. Because
Gray
Seers are casters.
It'd be cool to have someone who could do a Warp Lightning.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just give him Inspiring Presence as the token.
Yeah, to have it.
Everybody needs this ability. And we didn't actually lose any units from Queek's army, so we'll go ahead and use him for our recruitment drive.
There we go.
Fight the elf things.
They're coming.
See the world.
Yeah, they're coming. Fight the elf things. See the world.
Yeah.
Crap over there in that bush.
Oh, he's going for Dawn's Light. Okay. We'll see what happens.
Wow, that's some epic range for that boat.
High Elves have a pretty good navy. Within the lore of Warhammer, they could be described as possession of a pretty good navy. They actually have the best navy in the world.
Occupy.
Per the lore. Yeah, let's get our defenders here. Let's Go ahead and keep on recruiting clan rats at the maximum speed that we can. And this looks pretty undefended over here.
It sure does. Shall we stalk it?
It looks. It actually looks troublingly undefended.